Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? That's why I set up the website, colinmullen.com. So hey everybody, if you hear purring in the background, Herman, my cat, has decided to join me for this recording. So anyway, today's painting has nothing to do with the subject matter because my hand was stupid and I could not get my art to come out of my hand right. And so rather than giving you a bad painting I hate, I'm giving you a mid painting that I am content with. Like, I'm not happy about this painting. Like, immediately when I got done, I'm like, that looks like a SpongeBob still, you know, like one of those ones where it's like hyper realistic and gross. And then like I showed it on stream and like one of the first things someone said was like, oh, it's got SpongeBob energy. And I'm like, I know, right? Anyway, I wanted to try and do that kind of style that I've got on a couple of the other paintings that I have on my website, colinmullen.com. And notice that the red that you get out of gouache is not the same kind of red that you would get out of acrylic. You know, obviously, one of the things about acrylic is it is a very like flat, bold color palette. Like it's plastic, you know, and it's got plastic vibes, which means that you can get those really like intense neons, really unnatural looking colors like teal and stuff that just don't feel right. I mean, you know, you could find most of those colors in nature because somehow they had to have ground up something or other to get it to that point. But you know what I mean? Like, teal doesn't feel right. Like, when do you see something that's teal? I'm showing that I'm American because I'm trying to think of anything that's teal. I mean, like, I guess grackles? Sometimes? You're iridescent, so like, there's parts of it. Anyway, so what I wanted to do this year is to kind of consolidate all my different workflows into one more efficient workflow. And that sounded really good in theory, except for sometimes my hands are stupid. So in accordance with that, let me tell you about the idea that I had. So like I said in the, you know, wrap up earlier this last month. Yeah, it was last month, I guess. Once I'm done getting all the stuff together to release The Town of Nowhere into the line on Steam coming into February 2026, like I said, on Steam, you can just look it up. Anyway, once that's done, I want to move on to another game because like I really do like the idea of making games. And this is like my first actually like serious project. And it's like very much not a game meant for like anyone but streamers, I think. Like low key, streamers are fans of the series or fans of mine. Like it's me screwing around with the person who's playing it. And I think that would be a very fun experience for mostly streamers. But if that sounds like a fun experience for you as well, it's like if I were Jigsaw, but instead of Jigsaw killing you, it's just stupid pranks. And that's the concept for the game. It's me constantly pranking the player with some like actually okay-ish other stuff. I mean, like graphically, I feel like I knocked it out of the park, and that's largely because of Lepa, who made this awesome shader for me that looks exactly like I wanted it to. I was like, I want it to be, you know, lots of color banding. I want the color palette to be super pixelated, all that. And they were just like, I got this. Anyway, the game that I want to make next, I guess, is a first-person shooter that's set in a like dying world where like the bodies of gods are like not only like a physical thing, but are just like all around the place rotting. And so it's kind of got like this, I'm thinking like Dark Souls, Grimdark, Warhammer, kind of like everything's screwed up, and it kind of doesn't necessarily have to make 100% sense as long as it's really cool. The other inspiration or other influence that I really want to take from is like Darkwood. Darkwood, I feel like, really did a good job of getting that horror element across, and a lot of that was because of the camera angle, which obviously, you know, it being top down in my game theoretically being first person, is going to be a different experience. But the idea of having to go to a base at night in order to not get swarmed by creatures, I think that would be good. I would like to have that in my game as well. And the idea that you can slowly progress, or if you want to speed through, you can, but like you're balancing your resources. If you speed through too fast, you're dead. If you go too slow, you run out of resources and then you're dead. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking for the next one. And like, you are the last worshiper of a goddess or god. I think I'm going to go with goddess. And you have to go through all these different areas to just like make the last pilgrimage, which is like a sacred act of your religion kind of thing. And you're going to go to these different sites, but unfortunately, also in those areas, there are other religions with their living gods just hanging out there with them, doing whatever messed up stuff that this, specific god is attracted to or attached to, or whatever his or her thing is. And that's the general premise. I'm hoping that for the rest of the year, I will be doing paintings that are from that or from that idea. And that just gives me kind of a direction for where I want to go with it. And I think this will work. Part of me also goes, I don't know if gouache is going to be the right color palette. It really doesn't get those really, really darks. I'm almost thinking I might need oil instead. So I'm a little bit on the fence about that. I might have to make a separate project that is similar to this, where it's just like making a story as I go through multiple different paintings and have them connected through a shared universe. That way, all I have to figure out is like, what new element of this universe do I want to show off to y'all, while, drumming up hype for the game, as well as making sure I've got good concept art in case if I decide to actually bring someone on who can do decent 3D modeling. I tried to do 3D modeling of like the guy that I was gonna make for today's video, and like it came out pretty good, but I used stock assets all over the place. Like I kind of just like took, I think it's like a veterinary skull diagram of a dog skull and stretched a human face, that way it went over it. And it's like, cool, great. It was a decent enough reference and it was a good idea, it just did not work out this week. If you would like to support me in making games and making art, you can do that at patreon.com/RevScarecrow. There at the $5 tier or more, you can get access to the sub-only Discord where I hang out sometimes and announce when I'm going to stream, that kind of thing. It also allows you to get into the credits of these arcade videos. That's what the wonderful people did here in this list, starting with my mom and dad. I love you. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Toefoundor. Thank you, Split. Thank you, Spaghetto. Thank you, Sophia Nope. Thank you, Skelecorgi. Thank you, Reverend Joe. Thank you, MP. Thank you, Mortis. Thank you, Katie Valent. Thank you, Josepher. Thank you, Freak Wannabe. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Aguag. And thank you, Ants. I'm being very quiet today because it's 10 a.m. and it's the weekend. It's Sunday. I'm recording this late. Sorry, y'all. And my neighbor's bedroom is on the other side of the wall directly behind me. So rather than screaming first thing in the morning on a weekend, I mean, it's 10. I just don't want to be a jerk. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you, all of you. And thank you for watching till the end of this video. I'm hoping that I can actually give you guys some more like art asset ideas that I think are neat and things that would be cool for the game. And you guys can get into the idea. I don't know. I'm seeing where I'm going with this, and I hope you'll join me for the journey. I'll see you in the next one.